All right, folks, this one's interesting, and there are some considerable data points in the story that I'm about to go over. This is in the dailymailco.uk, and the title of the story is World War III is the only way to stop Putin, with NATO countries having to fight for real, warns Russia's former richest man, who happens to now be exiled in Britain. Now, the article says that Russia's once richest man, of course, the richest man in Russia right now, perhaps maybe the richest man in the world is Putin, but it says Russia's once richest man says the West will inevitably have to face down Russia. The Open Russia Democracy advocate was jailed in 2003 and pardoned in 2013. Now, this is very interesting because this guy says a lot of things about what's going to happen in order for Putin to be defeated. Now, mind you, he is an enemy of Putin, but some of his observations are pretty keen and they are very interesting. Now, we're going to roll a quick video for you of what he actually says, and we'll actually show the subtitles for you in that video. And then I'll go back to making some comments on what he actually has to say.
Странам НАТО, Западной Европе придется воевать по-серьезному. Чем раньше они это поймут, тем на самом деле лучше. Потому что Путин остановиться не может. Для него остановка – это смерть в конечном итоге. Он может приостановиться для того, чтобы переварить захваченные территории, мобилизовать людей, которые ему, так сказать, достались вместе с захваченными территориями.
Now he says this, I want to remind you what he said. He said, sooner or later, they will have to fight. The sooner they realize it, the better, because Putin can't stop. Right? Stopping for him is death. That's what he actually says, folks. You saw the video. You see the translation. But what is very interesting is something that he says that you may have not noticed, but look what he says here. He says Putin might pause to digest territories he conquers, but then, notice this, he will continue mobilizing men from the places he conquers. By the way, he's moving south, folks. Putin is moving south, and this is kind of interesting because there's a lot of things that we learn from Ezekiel 38. And make no mistake, I am not saying that this is Ezekiel 38. But what is interesting and what we read about in Ezekiel 38 is that there will be a conglomerate of nations that will attack Israel, and there will be nobody that will dispute it other than a few people verbally disputing it, but will not, from a military perspective, seek to stop Russia. As a matter of fact, the only ones that will successfully destroy Russia and stop Russia will be the Lord himself on behalf of the nation of Israel. This is very, very interesting, and I can promise you that when you start looking at the prospect of World War III at the hands of NATO alliance nations, it is about to get ugly. And the uglier it begins to get, I can tell you this right now, the closer we are becoming to what the Bible says is going to happen in the last days. Folks, it is absolutely time to wake up. It is time to take a look around and recognize what the Bible says about these times. And remember this one fact. Remember that Christ can come for his church at any moment. He could come at any second. Yeah, but they've been saying that for years and years and years, James. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. But that does not negate the fact that Christ can come at any second. It's time to be ready. It's time to keep your eyes open and pay attention to the times around us. Folks, the Bible never gets it wrong. It's time to pay attention.